Hello and welcome to Community Chats. I'm your host, Aley Hammer, and today we're joined with Darryn McCoskery, the General Manager for Hostopia in APAC. Darren, thank you so much for being on the show today. Can you start by telling us a little bit about Hostopia?
Hostopia is actually one of Australia's largest hosting companies. We have over 50,000 customers that we service every day and over 250,000 websites and corporate workloads. So we've actually been working with Australian businesses for over 20 years. We are really about an engineering first kind of principle. So we have a lot of engineers on staff. And Hostopia is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Deluxe Corporation. And our mission is really about helping those small to medium businesses and small to medium enterprises really find their pathway in cloud. We were actually, through our Anchor brand, one of the first AWS partners in Australia.
Wow, it's really cool to partner with a company like Hostopia who, really lives and breathes cloud technology just like we do. And Darren, when a customer is looking to pick a partner to work with, can you tell us why Hostopia is different and why would they partner with you guys?
Well, because we've been working with Australian companies for a long time, we really have an expertise around engineering services. We have over 50 AWS certifications. And with the AWS product and services and marketplace, we really help demystify and debunk all of the cloud myths. So we can actually help a customer. It doesn't matter where they are on their journey, whether they're starting day one or they're starting and they're quite sophisticated and a lot of their workloads are in the cloud. It really is about helping them and giving them access to engineering expertise and deep expertise at that. So it really means that we can help them solve their business problems by using and leveraging cloud technologies in this ever pervasive, changing world. And, we all are trying to reach that elusive agility within our business.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, speaking of being different and ever changing, you guys have a new solution in the works designed to aid those smaller businesses that are about to begin their cloud journey. So can you share with us a little bit about this new solution and why did you actually feel a need to build it in the first place?
Yeah, good question. We were actually working with AWS and have been since 2013. And we realized that there was still a barrier to smaller businesses trying to consume cloud technologies. Now, everyone can go and start up the cloud and start putting things into EC2 instances and S3 buckets and just doing things on the cloud because that's how the cloud's designed, particularly AWS. But when you think about all of the things that really matter as you start to really build out your workloads, you need to have security, you need to have governance, you need to have a framework to work with. So a lot of businesses were paying quite a large amount of money, an extraordinary amount of money just to get what they call a landing zone. So we've actually designed some landing zone in different t-shirt sizes. So, if you're a small, medium, large, or extra large business, you can actually consume them as a freemium product. And what we mean by that is instead of having to pay a partner of AWS to actually build their landing zones, we're giving these away.
Wow, sorry, I did pause there because I'm just like, holy moly, you're giving them away. That's awesome. And you must be really excited to produce a product which does aim to kind of tear down those barriers to cloud entry for those small businesses who otherwise would find it super expensive by the sound of things, having to get a partner to pay for a landing zone. That's quite an expensive thing to do.
Yeah, it's breaking down that barrier and making sure that when they do want to actually deploy their workloads or applications into the cloud, they're set up, the framework is set up correctly to start with. So you don't have to go backwards and redo everything after you've actually taken all this time, energy, and effort to get your application up and running. It's already secure, it's already governed, it's got all the right kind of framework for you to be able to grow.
I love it. Darren, here at AWS, customer obsession is really important to us. I know it's important for you guys too. So can you tell us about a customer win of yours? And actually, what does customer obsession mean to you in the first place?
Okay, so customer obsession to us is really making sure that we actually help customers on their journey and their customers. So it's not just about the customer that we're dealing with, it's how do we support them to encourage their business to work with their customers. So that would be the first thing. The second thing about customer obsession is really, this is not really a win because it is an existing customer that we had that really had an old architecture of their application. So they had designs on wanting to be able to scale, go to more agencies or businesses to be able to take their multi-threaded application out to the marketplace, but they were really stifled by old technologies. So we actually had a conversation with them about what their future strategic plans were and how they wanted to grow. But we realized that they were being cobbled because they were actually an existing customer of ours sitting on a traditional hosting platform, that they were being cobbled, not being able to actually grow the application because it's an old architecture, old technology, old hardware. So what we've done is we've actually helped them modernize that application by pulling it apart and then modernizing it into what we call a cloud-first or microservices application. So that's a story about one of our existing customers that we've actually helped on their journey.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And I really do love that you mentioned your customer's customer, because that's something that when I joined AWS, it was very, very important, for them to get that through to us, that it's always about not only your customer, but the customer's customer. So awesome that you guys think that way too.
Yeah.
Darren, we discussed on the phone that you've been noticing interesting trends and patterns amongst your customers recently. So can you tell us a little bit about these trends and what you've been seeing in the market at the moment?
Yeah, so with 50,000 customers, you can imagine we get a lot of feedback from our customers. And, what we're seeing is that customers are really trying to take what they've done previously. In other words, they may have invested in a part of their business and applications to support that, and they really don't want to lose or get rid of that application. They need to they want to water and feed it. They want to be able to develop it. So it could be years, 10 plus years of knowledge that's gone into building out an application, but it's stuck in an old architecture or an old piece of technology that cannot scale. It wasn't designed for this modern agile world. So what we're seeing is more companies coming to us in our existing base and new companies with the challenge of having to modernize an application that sits within their application landscape. You might be using SaaS products over here. You might be using other products that are, 21st century architected, but there may be one or two applications that are key to your business that are stuck on old legacy technology. And that technical debt is actually stopping them from being able to expand their business and scale it. But they also don't want to get rid of that application or rebuild it. It's too expensive. So we are helping customers really modernize those platforms and taking the old legacy applications and really wrapping new cloud technologies around that with architectures that allow the whole application landscape to scale.
Wow, very, very, very cool. Darren, I've learned so much during this interview. I actually want to keep chatting to you. So we're going to have to take this offline, but thank you so much for coming on the show today. And to all our viewers at home, we'll see you next time.